Good morning, it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. If you're watching this on December the 23rd, which is a segment of Learning Chromebooks. This is a monthly production that Huey Poplick and I do. We missed November because it fell on Thanksgiving. So we thought we'd take time off, and there was no Chrome OS 95. So we're now on 96, which we're talking about today. But before I get into the video, Huey and I would like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, and please stay safe. So let's pick up where we were in October, a couple of months ago. Before we signed off, we had Chrome OS 94. Now, we'd really like you to like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps us continue to make videos for you. So if you're new here, I'd like to just refresh the difference between the Chrome operating system and the Chrome browser. Let's just go back a little bit. We have, of course, the Chrome browser, which is available on all operating systems. About 85% of the world's population use the Chrome browser. Google has done a good job in updating this over the years, and we used to see updates coming around every 4 to 6 weeks. Then, of course, Chromebooks came along, and we had an operating system to run the Chromebooks. This was called Chrome OS, and the Chrome browser was embedded into the operating system. So now we had a Chrome browser, and we had what we call Chrome OS. Two different things there. So what we saw in the past is that Google would update the Chrome browser about every 6 to 8 weeks. Then following this, the Chrome operating system would be updated usually around a month later. Took a little while to get things organized. This year, Google made a decision to update the Chrome browser on a monthly basis. They got the whip out and said to the development team, once a month, we're going to have a new version of the Chrome browser. But also they plan to simultaneously update the Chrome operating system. So the same whip they got out for the development team for the browser, they said for the operating system, we want them to match, and we want it to come out once a month. So they had to mirror the two. But to do that, they missed Chrome OS 95, which should have come out in November. So the goal now is to have an operating system number that will start at the beginning of the month, let's say 96, which is out now, and this would also match the operating system. So at the first of the month, we'll likely see a new version of the Chrome browser, which will be the same number and version as the Chrome operating system, and they should come out together. And December was going to be the month in which this occurred. Big news. So with the Chrome browser being brought out as version 96, they released the Chrome OS 96 at the same time. This occurred in early December, and I got mine on my Pixelbook. Unfortunately, the developers were sort of not ready for this, and this version had a lot of problems, so they stopped the release. So you may have, some of you may have got the release early in the month, but many of you didn't. Now, last week, Chrome OS 96 was re-released, so most of you probably now will be getting the updated version for your Chromebooks now. But this is very short-lived because, of course, January is coming, and we would expect Chrome OS 97 to be out very soon. And each month will be going up by one number. And that's why Learning Chromebooks, we're going to talk about this each month and what the new versions have. Now, since they're going to be making these new versions quickly, most of the development will probably be behind the scenes changes. So we won't have a lot of new features each month to discuss. And that is exactly what has happened with Chrome OS 96. There are some changes which I'll talk about today, but very few features that are really new. All right, what does all this mean to you as a user of a Chromebook? It means nothing. Because Chromebooks are so simple, you don't have to worry about updating your operating system. It does it all for you. Yes. Now, I just wanted to refresh your memory. There are 2 copies of the operating system on your Chromebook. There's a primary copy and a secondary copy. And it's the secondary copy that gets updated. It just happens when you're on the internet. It does it in the background. And then when you're not looking, your Chromebook switches them, and the primary becomes the secondary. And the secondary, of course, becomes the primary. So then you get the updated version of the operating system. And it does it when you're not looking. Or actually how it happens is when you turn your computer off and repower it back on. Now, if you're like someone like myself, I never do that. When I am finished with my Chromebook, I just close the lid. And then I come back and I open it up, work on it, then I just close the lid. So if I never powered it off, I wouldn't get that new copy of my Chrome operating system, and that's important. So what I would tell you is this. If you are just a lid closer like I am, try to power your Chromebook off once a week. Then it will flip the copies and you'll get all the updates. Not a big deal. If you're someone like myself who's a lid closer and I don't repower it, then I go and I manually update the Chrome operating system. In fact, since I write articles about this, I do this every morning because I want to know exactly when the next version comes out. So I do it manually. And I've shown you this before, but I just wanted to review this, how to update the Chrome operating system manually. It's very simple. So let's come down onto my menu here. You'll see that, of course, I have the, this is the menu down on the right side. We're going to come up here and we're going to click Settings. Now over on the Settings, I want you to come way over here on the left side, and I'd like you to come over to About Chrome OS. Click this, and you'll come up and you'll see this menu here. This gives you the version, and this is the version, of course, I'm on, which is version 96. Then we're going to check for updates. Just click this button here, and it says my Chromebook is up to date. Now, if there was a update for it, it would download it. You can continue on working, doing other things on your Chromebook, and it'll give you a little notification and say, hey, let's restart. And when you restart it, it switches the copies. So you really don't have to worry about it. It's all going to be done for you. All right, let's look at some changes that have occurred in Chrome OS 96. Now, the main feature change is in the camera app. So let's have a look at it. Let's bring our mouse down. We're going to come to the launcher. Here we are. And now we're going to click on the camera app. All right, so here we have the camera app in place. And you'll see at the bottom, there are 4 tabs here. There's Video, Photo, Square, and Scan, and we'll go over those in just a minute. Now remember, it depends if your Chromebook has a forward or rear facing camera. Most of you probably have a camera that is facing towards you. In other words, it's used for Zoom meetings. We don't have cameras on the back of your Chromebook. So this does change how you use this feature slightly. All right, so let's come over and say, suppose we want to record a video of ourselves. We're then going to come over and we're going to click the video recording, and this now will take a video. You have some options here. Coming over to the left side, way over to the left here, you're going to see a little timer. If you turn this on, it's a 3-second timer and gives you 3 seconds before it starts. After the timer, you can come up, and this is for the grid. So if we turn this on or off, we can turn on the 1/3 feature grid, which you'll see on the screen. Now, as we move up, We can then flip the image, and I'll show you how this works in a minute. We can either, by clicking this, watch, I can flip around on one side or the other. There we go. So that's on the video. So you can record videos of yourself with your Chromebook. Now let's come over here to the photo. Well, now we're going to take pictures of ourselves. Again, the camera is aiming towards you. You have all the options again on the left side, so I'm not going to go over them, but you can just take a picture now of yourself or whatever is on your screen. So the next feature, come over, there's actually a square picture that it does, and this takes a different size picture, and this can be good for social media such as TikTok, which requires a certain format. Now, a new feature that they've brought out in your Chromebook, you can come over now and click the scan. And this is where we bring this up here, and we can either scan a document or we can scan a QR code. So let's suppose we want to scan a document. Now remember, again, this is a little bit different because you have likely a Chromebook sitting in a clamshell position where you have the screen and keyboard. So how would you scan a picture? Or let's say a document. How would you scan a document? Well, let's try that. So I have a document here, which I'm going to hold up. And what we're going to do is I'm going to click our scanner. We're going to bring this up. So let's see how to scan a document. I have a document here in my hand, and we're going to scan it. So you see, as soon as I bring this up, you'll see, let's hold it in front of the camera here. You'll see that it outlines itself. Let me just move this over here. You'll see that it outlines itself and identifies the document. So we now are then going to take a picture of this. We'll click the button of it. And here is the image. Now we can save this as a photo, we can save this as a JPEG, or we can save this as a PDF. And then we're going to save this as a photo, and it's now saved. Now if we come over to QR code, again we just bring the QR code up and it will scan it into the system. So you have your choice of either a document or a QR code. So the change in the Chrome OS 96 was mostly in the camera app. Now I certainly don't scan images or documents into my Chromebook using the camera app. To me, with the camera facing me, this is very cumbersome. I do all my scanning using my cell phone. Your cell phone is by far the best scanner you have, and you have it right in your hand. Google has a Google Drive app that goes on your phone, and you can scan it right into any Google file with the Google widget on your phone. I've actually done a video for this, and I'll put it in the link below. Well, until we see you in about a month for Chrome OS 97, have a great month, and we'll see you back soon. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, and don't forget that like and subscribe thing. Thanks a lot.